Hello. Why is it not fitting in here? It should fit in here. There we go. Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's Tuesday evening. It's time for us to talk. I I listened to a gentleman last night, and I think this is making a rounds about Liberia. He's not the first story. We have our own story. I told my story over and over, but I want to talk about him. Then we're gonna move on to a few things I like to talk about tonight. I like to talk about four things tonight. The first thing I like to talk about is um, the strength of the nation. We as Liberians, we are surprised when the everyday Liberian who is in survivorship, who all they've ever known is lies, deception, not only from their leaders, from their household. And we can build a nation that way. So the first thing is, it says all of us have to be the man in the mirror, right? We do local, interstate competition. We cheat. And then we say it's an election or it's a selection. For instance, EULA, uh, the Liberian organization in the diaspora. You know, people who I can say never heard of EULA, I've never been to any of the meeting, but time for selection of their leaders to start the organization. People will pay people and transport them to come and vote. They just come for that day, they party, they vote, they select who they want to select to spend the people money for that 2 years, and they call it a day. All right? People only know what they know. Then we talk about our home, folks. The people who destabilized the nation, the people who took lives, who violated people, little girls and boys. They were never accountable for it. We hear Papa Boaka telling us Liberian people deserve the one justice so that we get justice. We get to see that. Then here we go. We want the everyday Liberian, okay, we want the everyday Liberian to be honest. How is that? Our parents are dishonest. Majority of our parents are dishonest. Our leadership is dishonest. The population of the nation, the only time that we talk that things are bothersome to us, that it becomes a problem, it is when it impacts us. But if it does not impact us, we don't say anything. Hi, Brother Emmanuel. So long we benefit from whatever it is, it does not matter. We are watching that now. You remember all the people that were in the street with us doing we are term from Washington to New York in the street and even harassing Allegiance Salif. The very people we give them power. Look at them. See their actions because they know nothing will happen. The reason why when you anywhere in other people's country that there's structure, When I drive and get to the red light, does not matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and no car coming, I stop because I know the consequence if I don't stop. You do too. When you go to your job, the reason you don't take the toilet paper, you don't take the napkins, okay? Number one, the consequence. The third thing is you don't want to see yourself in the news. The fourth thing is you don't want to lose your job because that way you take care of yourself. So there's an incentive for being good. In Liberia, there's no incentive for being good. But let me play this video for you, all of us, so we can see it. Okay. I have no copyright to that video. If the owner elect, they can put claim on it. But I wanted to play it to bring to bear what is happening in Liberia. You know, the other day, Michael Blyde was talking, and my little brother, Dwalu came on and said, "Oh, you can't open business and you sit somewhere else." This young man moved to Liberia. His business is in Liberia. His business is in Liberia. Okay? And right before his eyes, things are happening. So let's watch just a little of this. Then I will come back to this. Okay? That's a shortly interview. Every now and then I come upon those things. There's so much things. Liberia is so flooded with so much that your focus cannot. There's a lot going on.
I never had a business.
How's business in Liberia?
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish that I never had a business in Liberia.
Why so?
That's how frustrating it is.
Just sometimes I just wish, like, man, I wish I took this shit to Ghana. Man, I wish I took it to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Our people are so frustrating, like even down to the employees. Like you literally would just hire someone, train them how you want your place to be. So there's some for the salon. Okay, you see, for example, people don't know how to do a perfect installation or makeup or whatsoever, right? And we'll come in, train them good to that expert level, and then once you have a customer, they go ahead and tell the customer, this place is expensive. On Sunday, since I'm off, and next time you want to come to me.
Wow.
I'm telling you, bro. It's frustrating because these are the same people. Soon enough, and they can't even allow a day to pass. You gotta pay. If you don't pay, your name go all over the time. And you understand what I'm saying? It's very frustrating. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then you actually will have employees stealing. Like literally, they will see your camera still here, but they will still be stealing it.
Wow.
You will see your management and the employees in the camera doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing while we have customers. It's very frustrating. It's what I'm saying. It's very, very frustrating. Like you see it and be like, oh hell no! Like this is not what I'm trying to put out there. And then they will come in anytime they feel like coming in, do whatever they feel like doing. When everybody want to be on the phone, and when you try to talk about it, it's just a lot going on, man. And I'm not saying every part of the world don't have people that does these things, but other places people take that job serious.
Yeah.
But here, nah, everybody wants job.
Everybody.
That's fact.
Yeah.
But when you give them the opportunity, they don't want to take it serious.
That's so frustrating.
Very frustrating.
Really looking at
and me at the part. Thank you. Me and looking at the part, you just went in the salon. You saw the things that we spend in it, and then you try to bring that standard, the high standard. You don't want to do the minimum thing that everybody does. You show them what is supposed to get. They master it, and then your customer kind of say, "It's deeply expensive, man. Instead of you doing anything for 20, I'll come to me. I'll do it for 5."
Wow.
So that is like that is true. I've shared our story over and over. I told our story over and over when we packed up and went to Liberia to start a business there. We have the Class A license. Okay, we brought in qualified Liberians that would do the work. Okay, engineers and all of that. Engineers, I didn't say one. All right, but here we go. I want to talk to you tonight about the legislature, the bill that was proposed to add 14 seats to the legislature. The question that begs an answer for all of us, I know there are a lot of people in Liberia that know it all. So long you have a microphone in your hand, you call yourself a journalist, okay? One thing I understand most of the places here is people, everybody can talk about everything, but when things come to specialization, that's what you call specialization. You want to clothe yourself with knowledge when you speak to it. What does our Constitution dictate? Do our legislature have the power to apportion those numbers? According to the Constitution, no, they don't. They can set the threshold. They can set the threshold, and then the Election Commission, based on the censor, they can redistrict. And redistricting requires, it's based on a proportion representation of what Liberia Constitution dictates. So for instance, Nima County is 2 times larger, okay, than Bon County, almost. Okay. But Nima County is 2 times larger than Lofa County. Do you hear me? So the first time that they did that, Ellen said we were coming from war, there was no money, and they just shared the numbers of the head. They said share the number. So what happens tomorrow when somebody from Cape Mount is in power as president and can influence the people and decide, listen, I need Cape Mount to have 4 representatives, the senator owned at 2 per. Then what happens? You know, I was listening to a study this morning that was done by an institution, and it said the US will look at science country that the figure they think it's look like it's not stable, right? And how do they do that? They look at about 38 counts of different functionalities that they believe can be the cause. The cause is you want to be a democracy, but yet you're not a democracy. So you're wishy-washy. You're a democracy, autocracy at the same time. Meaning you are not a perfect, they don't have perfect democracy, but you have democracy where the justice reign, where the people have power, where the people truly speak. Now we look at Liberia, we know Liberia is a unitary state. Because Liberia is a unitary state, the president, everything is centralized. The 3 group of people, but the president in Liberia almost have absolute power, especially looking at the everything that is happening. So that law should not be passing where the Senate should not concur it, because it is not within the jurisdiction of the legislature to go ahead and apportion the numbers. the number should be driven by the censor, which the NEC should be in charge of. So then the question that we need to ask is, based on what? Based on what are you giving the people that you are giving all the lines? Okay. Let me tell you what it is here. First, you need to read your constitution. We got this bunch of people, okay? Bunch of people that we just put over there. Where is stuff I saw this morning? It's a breaking news. Somebody sent me something I was looking at. Where I was looking at, it says yeah, they're different the way it was a portion. Okay. This stuff I was looking at, it is this afternoon. Okay, I can't find it now. But somebody had it. So when I saw that today, somebody said, I said, well, great. And people said that to me, I mean, what is great about the number? You know what? These people are begging around. But then they're explaining the legislature. They barely just put in a bill to make $5,000 a month. Okay? That is salary. That's not compensation. It does not include the gas, $2,000 gas. It does not include the telephone car. It does not include their car. It does not include their cook, their driver, and all of that. It does not include that in a country that is literally dependent on donor funds. And that's why I keep playing that video with Joseph Boakai, who said, like, we are not fiscal discipline. We're not good with money. We don't manage our funds. So how is Lofa County getting 2 more representatives? How big has Lofa grown? So if you look at the census, if the census is correct, you will look at, based on the census, where people move out of, you know, like we do here in America. Okay? Sometimes New York got 20 some more what do you call it? Something college. Okay? Sometimes other states do. Depending on the population, as the population shifts after the census, you shift the representation, because the representation is based on proportion, population proportion. So Nima County, in respect, it's not land size, it's population. It's the second largest county. So right now, my argument is not even because it's Nima or it's this. My argument is that it's not the role of the legislature. We keep breaking the law. The first time they did that, my Ellie says, because we're coming from war, we don't have money. Although we're paying some people $10,000 and $20,000 a month. So why are we doing it now? What is going on? So that's the question that we need to ask ourselves. Is that the role of the legislature? Are they the one who's supposed to apportion they're the one supposed to apportion the numbers now to, how you call it? How did they come up with that? What is the numbers? They're supposed to set the threshold. What is the threshold? Are they saying 65,000 per? If it's 65,000 per, okay, to get the kind of number they got, okay, then only a few of the area will be split. The 4 that have the largest number in Montserrat will be split. Okay. Then another district over there will be split. Maybe district like District 1 in Nema County will be split. Okay. Some places in the southeast will lose numbers, lose legislature. That means when this legislature time is over, they will have to find other place to run, but they can't run in that area because they don't have the representation, they don't have the population. That's the way it works. What is going on with y'all? Okay, folks, share the video for me. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up so I can put on my page. Please share. Okay. I'm a 1 hour long woman now because I gotta go finish some work. Since our welcome. Okay, so and I guess this is why the people refuse to build schools. This is why they refuse to build schools. So we can all just talk out of our head. Well, they can get up in the morning, get themselves some drinks, come over and do what they want to do. But let me explain to all of you again. It is not within the jurisdiction of the legislature. The legislature continued to derail and undermine the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. They did this, okay? They did this with the mayoral position in Liberia. They did that with the legislature, the legislative election. The legislature used to be 50% plus one, the same way with the president. What did they do? They changed it. It was supposed to be temporary because we were coming from war, and it was supposed to go back. What they're doing in Liberia is lottery, but they said we have no money to do a runoff election. If we are going to be a democracy, then we will be democracy. It should be the majority rule. Okay? So when the people go to the poll and vote for a legislature, okay, it should not be simple majority. That's not what the Constitution said. That's not the way it was. So we need to revisit that. The legislature is 103 persons, 73. Okay, it's bicameral, meaning the upper and lower house. Okay, meaning it is. Some countries don't have upper and lower house. America does, which we copy from. When we run here, our judges here, except for the Supreme Court and a few other judges, we elect them. We elect our municipals. We elect our local judges. Now, when they see when president talking, they notice that they're working for the people, so they don't go running because president said jump. All right. I remember when Bouaka won. That's the first thing I paid attention. When somebody from the U.S. Congress said, "How it does a little country like Liberia, president have almost 4,000 positions to appoint?" And I started thinking. In fact, I was on web station I was on with that time, and this guy, I think he's on this show now. He's on Closing Argument now. Kenyan said, "No, that's not true." Then Bouaka outlined the first 500 people. The second group, the group started coming. Then, and everybody began to see. In America, with 340 million people, trillions in budget, 50 states, the president of the United States does not have, he has less than 4,000 people to appoint. 50 states. 50 states. Okay? But a small place like Liberia, the president got over 4,000 people to appoint. Hey, our friend. Okay? Yes. And I saw Musa is already asking. That is good. I love that very question there. All right. These people that we're electing have to, and besides electing them, we ourselves need to clothe ourselves with information, and we need to educate our people, because these people think we give them power. Now we're powerless. Okay. So even with the president, what is going on is not legal. Okay. It is unconstitutional. It is not the Constitution. It is not within the jurisdiction of the legislature to apportion. Okay. Their job is to give us the threshold. Based on the threshold is when the appropriation will be done. They will go based on the numbers. If the legislature say it will be 65,000 or 60,000 per representation, okay, then you start splitting. And that number does not go across the border. It will be within the county. So all of us have job to do. We need to call out on this. This is not where they're supposed to go sit on table to negotiate. Then they say, oh, Nima lawmaker then, they didn't negotiate well. So and so. It's not for them to negotiate. It is based on the numbers. Yes. Today, when they brought that, I said, oh, great. You know why it's great? These are people who have no money to build clinic. These are people who don't have money to invest in psychology and counselors to come to Liberia to help our children with the mental health issue they have with drugs. These are people who don't have money to fortify our borders and pay our security well, so they can know that they got something at stake. At stake. These are people who don't have money to put money into primary education, which is the fundamental of any nation. But yeah, they are great. We are getting new lawmakers. Great. Okay. So let's look at the population in each county. The last I looked at the population. Okay. This is 2022 census. That what they say? Montserrat have 1.9 million people. Okay. Nimba, which I doubt, I don't think they did that number good. Nimba has 621,000 people. Bone has 467,000 people. Lofa got 360. So Nimba has almost twice the amount of people in population. Mangibi, Nimba has twice, almost as Mangibi. Okay, in fact, more than twice. Grand Basso, Nimba more than twice. Okay, double. Grand Cape 178,000. Maryland 172,000. Sando 151,000. Bon County 133. Bomi County 133,000. River G 124,000. Grand Coup 109,000. Bobaloo 95,000. River Cess 90,000. So here we go. You put River Cess, Bobaloo County, Grand Coup County, River G County. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bomi County, Sando County, before you get Nima County. Grand Jide, Nima triple Grand Jide. So it's based on what that you people are proposing. Or you just get it, it's not yours to do. It's based on that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, I talk about two things. I talk about the business climate in Liberia, this dishonesty. But let me talk to you about the dishonesty. This is some of the things we're talking about. The lawmakers, majority of them are dishonest. Like I keep saying, Rachel Kuhn and Pape Bouaka decided, okay, that whether the burning of the building, the Capitol, was natural disaster based on neglect, okay, or it was intentional and they were in charge because we had a protest and they have beaten the people, jailed some of them, and the government were in charge. The only time I see Liberia building burn, that doing when government were in charge. When the finance ministry burned, the government were in charge. When the mansion burned, the Liberian government were in charge. In fact, it was the CUP government, okay? And I'm talking to that. And Walter, I agreed. We do. We seriously need to do. For me, I have given them like 2 years. So in the coming month, I'm supposed to be in Washington soon. Okay, I will let y'all know. Okay, I will be in Washington soon. And there's something that's coming up. So we need to unite and we need to work for our country. We really do. So I agree. All right. So here we go. We're talking about Liberian people being dishonest. Most Liberians are in survival mode. They're in survival mode. Okay. They came out, the place got burned, and they said, oh, Bouaka, the scene there, he said it was hooligans that burned it. The profile who they think did that, politically motivated, that's what I'm saying. So I think they know. Now, here we go. They went and brought somebody from Ghana, tried to coerce them, to pay them to lie. Like that Flanzameton, we call it Flanzametonic mentality. I was alive, I was grown, I was a teenager when Flanzameton was being put on how to talk. I remember when he said, let me explain. I remember that. Because they wanted him to confess on the air. And he changed his mind. And he started talking. I can explain. I remember that like yesterday. I still have flashback about all of these things in Liberia. So, something is not right. You are telling us and I wanted to do this other one here today. I don't know where I can get this. Let me guys, give me 1 second. This is a man at a school with babies. Whoever invited this dude to this school, this principal needs to be fired. Okay, this principal needs to be fired. Who allow a man to come in tongues to speak to children at school? They may need to be fired. The person needs to be fired. Okay, this is not a joke. These are our children. These are the future, and they must be protected. Okay, so here we go. So we're talking about dishonesty, right? I remember talking to a cousin of mine when his mother were in the hospital, which is my aunt. And he told me, this is years back, more than 10 years. Hey, Franklin, Thank you for being here. Justina, thank you for being here. Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you for being here. Chairman, we said. Says Yamin Joe, says Miara, thank you for being here. Okay. Brother Walter, thank you for being here. Yes, I'm gearing up. Brother Emmanuel, thank you for being here. We're gearing up. We got to prepare ourselves to get ready. Okay. We're not going I'm going to Washington. I know somebody was talking about yes, folks, the Human Rights Watch also watches Donald Trump and watch America. America is right now. There are a lot of talking in the what do you call it, the UCLA. All of them have been really serious about with America right now. So we're here. I'm gonna play this video with this guy, and I don't know who brought this man on the campus where our children. It just means we have lost our way completely. You're talking about people being dishonest. The state is dishonest. The old people are dishonest. Majority of them are dishonest. Okay, so let me quantify it. All right, majority of them are dishonest. Majority are dishonest. So what do we expect? They say the strength of the nation depends on the integrity of the. Let me play this, folks. And I have no copyright today, and viewer discretion is advised. I'm going to put that up before I go ahead and do this. Viewer discretion is advised. I strongly advise that you equal it because it does not look good. All right. So I'm going to play this. It's not something I would normally play, but I want you to see where I'm looking at to give you perspective of what I'm saying. Okay. When children, they will never carry a man like this on my campus with babies. In fact, what is this? You're looking at Liberian people. Is that where you're sending your children to? Look. Oh. All right. I don't know. Hello, man. So first of all, let me just let you know, Liberian people, shame on the education system in Liberia. I am condemning this act and calling on the Minister of Education to have that principal suspended, investigated, and there has to be some, I don't care if it's a private school, there has to be some sort of standard of operation and rule when it comes to our children. All educational institutions, especially K1 through 12 in the United States or any country, they are more stringent in their laws and background check. Yes, do they have people who come and do bad things? Yes, but there's an initial investigation. Maybe they do it in the interim. But like me, every 2 years, I have to do fingerprints. I got to do background check. I got to make sure I have not been in trouble, that I'm not in court that is criminal. And that's for all of our educators. It's very stringent because those are the age that are people can be impressed. Young people, we are considered trusted adults, we are considered mandatory reporter. That's what. You are not allowed to have a relationship with any student, K1 through 12. Even when they turn 18 and they left your school, you can't. Because the children must be protected. What is wrong with us? Have we lost our mojo? Now, I posted this earlier. Y'all know why we need a different kind of leader? This is Alexander Cummings, and I'm going to pull this out. Okay? He said this a couple of years ago. For things to really change in our country, we must not just change ruling party. We must change ruling principle. We must change ruling principle. We should not just change ruling principle. We should change the way we think ourselves and change ourselves for what is best for the nation. Yes, that's not our culture. You know, if you read all book that come from Greece, Italy, even the Bible, those practices require Hellenistic practices, okay? Hellenistic behavior, Hellenistic traits. Moses, I will contact you. I got contacted yesterday. I have not finalized yet. Like I told you all before, when Trump was running back in 2020, the group have contacted me for 6 months. They were negotiating with me. They created a space for me there, asked me if I could bring people that I trusted, at least 2 or 3 persons, which I did. But the way things were going, it didn't feel right for me. And they were willing to support me. Get the support my station needed, all the boosting that they needed. Yeah, if I wanted to be millionaire, I would have been millionaire. I want to be millionaire, but I want to be a millionaire where I can sleep. Where I can sleep in peace, where I know I earn if into business, and I will. The moment I get my baby situated, I'm going to be on my way to China. Okay, and I'm working on some stuff. That's what I'm going to do. But Mo, I will contact you, my dear, and we can talk. Okay, I will. But all of us have to come together. If we truly want change, we have to come together and have. I'm not throwing myself out there like I did. Brought everybody in one place. This used to be the place to be. Majority of your Josiah Joker, the Josh Lobo, I mean everybody. This is where most people we started from. But I didn't know people wanted to just come, get the things that they wanted to get to go and become just that. So we need to come together. I agree, and do what is right by Liberia. So, folks, if you can make a post, please make a post. All right. And let me explain again. I, Yasende Martin Peye, condemn that school, the principal that allowed that kind of behavior on the campus. You see the children sitting there watching that man? Children. Yes, Walter, I will call you. I will not do it tonight. I will call Moses tonight, but I will not call yet. Maybe over the weekend. I got some work plan to do for students, and most of them need to be training before the week, because next week we're testing, or next week I have to get with the district, and I have to get with parents. So there's a lot that I have to do. So when I leave from here, I'm going to be up. When you see me 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm working. And when my brain sets, with my menopause, and I'm doing other work. So yes, I will be there. Okay. So like I was saying, I started the conversation earlier with people saying Liberians are dishonest. And I start to say the strength of the nation depends on the integrity of the home. The people in the Senate, the people in the House, they came from homes, Liberian homes. They're your neighbors. You know them. We know them. Okay. And I was telling you about the data and statistics, the study that was done. Say when people vote based on political party, tribes, religion, not based on ideology, your country is doomed. Your country is on the way somewhere. So let me send this message again. Liberian, we need to come together and demand of the legislature to go back and revisit that resolution. It was not an amendment, it was a resolution that they passed at the time, and said Liberia just coming from war. So we could not do the 50% plus one for legislature. We need to do it now, just as we do it for president. Okay? Choosing people, it have to be majority rule. It cannot be a simple majority. That's a lottery. That's why we got drug dealer. We got airheads who don't even know what they're doing. Some of them, they're just there to get their cut. All right? And I say again, no one in that country need to be making $5,000, more than $5,000 a month, especially for 2 days work, in a country with only 6 million people and less than $1 billion in budget, where they're borrowing money. There's no plan. There's no plan to expand. Folks, let me play for you. In 6 months, or less than 6 months, where John Mahama did, and when he went to Japan, they see in Japan our president could explain. Let me pull this up. I did that last night. Okay. But this dude right here, you all need to call the attention of the everybody need to call the attention of the what do you call it? The Minister of Education, both the Minister of Education and the President, attention to that. This is the corrupting of our young people. Okay? We're not from Helen. We're not Greek. We're not Greek. We're not. What did I do? Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay. I want you to listen. This is John Muhammad. He was staying in the first 6 months. He will tell you what they've done. He explained the same thing at the United Nations. Our people are not able to articulate how they changed while Liberia is open for business. They just say Liberia open for business. They got tourism. We have they put in place. You don't have electricity. You don't have good telecommunication system. Now, You got Starlink in the country, great. You have no filter. You don't have professionals that will manage and protect our children from the internet. Today in the world, the internet is the most dangerous place to raise your children. I'm saying this to say, Nigeria just passed the law. When you take people picture, nude picture, and put it on the web without their consent, it's called porno. They can sue you. You can go to jail. I see Liberian men, especially you around the world, you're calling home suffering women or women who are struggling, or maybe they are like they're in love with you, and you're asking them all of these things that lovers do, right? Okay. Thank God I grew up at the time where we didn't have social media, where people would not even dare take picture. You're telling women to open their leg for you to look inside, Liberians, so you can pay their children's school fee, so you can give them money for rent. Then you take it, you put on Facebook, you take it, you carry a, I don't know, they say, tell us something in the chat room and share. I see your Liberian people, young men and women, especially young men in Liberia. That includes my little brother, Gian Zulu is worse. My son Moses Bono. I'm calling y'all today. I'm calling y'all out. Y'all will be running all over the place to find naked picture. Let me tell you, some of the young people, the window to your soul is your ears, your eyes. What you see, what you smell, sometimes when you touch. Y'all will looking at other people backside, other people holes all day long. And you're encouraging these things. You got sisters, you got mothers, you got aunties, grandparents. And besides, that's where you came from. That way you had your first drink of water. That way you took your first breath when you show your hair outside. Why? And Liberian women, just stop it. So I'm going to play this with John Mahama. Okay? You're listening to him. And you're here, our own people were telling you it's too early. Or adjust your expectation. It's too early, or adjust your expectation. Let's play this. I will always bring
quite efficiently than anybody can be able to do. But let me just say, the question is, why would you want to invest in a country like Ghana? And not only to do with the economic opportunities, but that Ghana is a stable, democratic, business-friendly gateway to West Africa and the continent. And like you said, we have a growing consumer market.
So listen to that. Business-friendly. How long does it take in Liberia for you to get your business license? How many people do you have to grab? Okay? Will your business be protected? Are your businesses protected? Heck no. So let's continue. I just wanted to bring that to bear.
With improving macroeconomic fundamentals, clear reforms to lower the cost of doing business, and abundant opportunities for technology transfer. And the thing is, what does Ghana have to offer? Strategic geographical location. Ghana is a country through which the meridian and the equator intersect. The two intersect in Ghana's territory, just a few kilometers off our shore. And it's also the host country for the African Continental Free Trade Area. You all have heard the landmark protocol that was signed by African countries. So far, almost 50 African countries have signed that allow us to export duty-free, tariff-free into each other's markets. Increasing numbers of products are being registered. And once you register your product and it meets all the standards, you can export duty-free and tariff-free into each other's markets. And as you were told, the sub-regional market, which is West Africa, is 400 million people. Ghana is 33 million people. And the continental market is 1.4 billion people. And so with the vehicle of the African Continental Free Trade Area, you potentially can export into 1.4 billion market. Simon said it, we re-establishing macro stability and growth momentum of the economy. Inflation rose to a high of almost 23% in 2024 and is currently down to 13.7%. And we expect that by the end of the year to hit single digit. And it's also, our cedi has stabilized. For those of you who know the history of the Ghanaian cedi, it's been one of the most volatile currencies in Africa. And a few years back, we were said to be the worst performing currency. I'm happy to announce that this year, Ghana cedi has been the best performing currency in the world. And as Simon said, we've been upgraded from junk status to B- with a stable outlook. And I'm certain that in the next review, we're going to be upgraded again. We're open for business, and Simon and Co are busy at work reviewing the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act. Some barriers were put to foreign investment. You had to prove that you had brought in a certain amount of money to be classified as a foreign investor. In the reviewed Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act, we're removing those minimal capital investments. This will enable any investor, however little money you have, $100,000, $50,000, to be able to come in and set up a business in Ghana. Again, we have a track record for hosting Japanese companies. And as you saw from the list there by Madame Jetro, Executive Vice President, the number of Japanese companies that are operating in Ghana is significant, and we're expecting that should expand.
Okay, I'm going to stop here. You can watch this. It starts at the 1 hour and 8 minute mark. You can go there and watch it. I will put the video down here. This is John Mahama. He was inaugurated. He's going to be 1 year in power. He just chronicled the first 6 months of, how you call it. In fact, when he left the meeting, okay, Singapore contacted him and said, we're going to build smart city in Ghana. And besides, we want to build a university in Ghana. Okay. If you listen to him going, he talk about, no, let's finish up. Let's finish up, because he talked about what the guy in plan, the electricity, how the kids are smart, talking about, and this is what I have been talking about to Liberian people. Why would the government change anything? The children would be fine. They're sending their children to America. They're sending them to Europe. They're sending them to Kenya, to Ghana, to go to some of the best school that money can buy with your money. While their children are in the street begging, while they're selling cold water, while they're selling malaria, while they're in the market looking for food to eat, while they're sitting on the floor. Look at LU. They could not fix LU, but they can build political headquarters in all of the counties. That something needs to be done. We need to stand up. This is too much now. 2 whole years. We did not get, we are 3 months. By March, we were out. May, we were out. 2018. Blackout rally, May 8th. Bring back our money right after. By the fall, we were to UN back to back. The next year, 2019, March, right there, we came back. June 7, we started planning that. These people are taking Liberian people for granted, including the legislature. You got what daughters in the street running prostitution just to eat. But you alone want $5,000. You created nothing. The job market have not changed. The economy have not switched. Our people are still hungry. So I'm going to stop here. My 1 hour is over. I want to say good night to all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Please share the video if you're here. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning, Sunday evening. Thank you for tuning in. So let me recap. The legislature does not have the duty, it's not their jurisdiction to apportion number. It is within their right to set the threshold. Then the NEC will look at the censor based on the censor. Then it will do the districting and the assignment. That's the way it works. Okay? Now, we got to do things differently. Hey, folks, let me tell you something. My brother, and my best friend were hanging out all last weekend. He had called me when he was with him. He said, your troublesome sister wanted, but I was a guest speaker. The time we called, I was a guest speaker at some women events. I had a wonderful, I call it tomorrow, I'll write if I will do it over the weekend because I'm compiling the pictures. It was a beautiful weekend. My sister forgot to record my speech. I was pleased with my speech. I thought it was powerful. Yes, I wrote it and I spoke it with comfort, introspection, how we can change our environment, how we need to come together. So, Liberian people, stop placarding Facebook with porno. If you got your girlfriend, you and her agree, and your adult one, you have to put a porno section. You'll create your own online porno. Start recording people picture. These women don't need to be embarrassed. Somebody posts your picture, you have their information, sue them. It don't matter where they are. If you sue them in Liberia and you have somebody in the United States that you can contact a lawyer in America, okay, to take them to court, please do. They will take them to court. And they find them criminal right now, while we're sitting now with Donald Trump, they will bring you right there in Liberia and they will pay you. Okay? You have no right to record people and post them on Facebook. And those of you who are here and posting a 15-year-old picture and think he's a man, that young man, that picture you're passing around, when you grow up, you will be ashamed of that video that you're recording and posting all over the place. I'm thinking something is wrong with us as Liberians. What? Folks, good night. Most Liberians, again, are in survival mode. The strength of the nation depends on the integrity of the home. Look at the examples that have been set for our children to follow. Lawmakers, presidents, judiciary, there are 14 Liberia that makes money. Politics, religion, laws, and lies. That's it. That's it. Good night, everyone. Oh, I did that. I wanted to finish here with this picture, didn't I? Sorry, I didn't end it. Sorry, everyone. I thought I ended it, but apparently I did not. Where's my banner? Where's my banner? Where's my banner? Okay. That's my fault. I thought I had it here. So let me. Do I remove it?